Hello, AGers. We are looking at 933 today, and we are using our systems of inequalities to solve problems. So today's question actually hits a little close to home because it is looking at the UN. And the UN is looking at collecting food as well as medical supplies from different countries to have on hand in case there is an emergency and they need to then disperse food and medicine to different areas of the world that's struck by a catastrophe. So what they're looking at in this scenario is they're asking each country to figure out how much they can give based on their population and their current resources, and then they're going to try to come up with an equitable way for people to then donate towards the UN so they would have these supplies on hand should there be some sort of catastrophe. So today, you're going to want to make sure that you've got your ruler and you're going to make sure that you've printed everything out. You should have your note sheet, traditional looking. You should have a graph because we're going to be graphing this information, and you should also have your cards on each country. So there are 5 countries, and there's also a special assignment box. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to each country and we're going to figure out what kind of constraints they have on their budget and their resources. So we'll start with country A. All right, so I'm just reading from the country sheet. It says, because we are spending so much money on improving our hospitals right now, our funds are very limited. We are constrained to spending up to, but not more than, $300,000. We have food packages that's going to cost $900, and each medical package will cost $600. If you look at your situation, they tell you to let X equal the number of food packages and Y equal the number of medical packages. So what do we know from country A? We know that they can spend up to but not more than $300,000. So this is going to be their upper limit. Now, they're going to donate food as well as medicine. So when we're looking at the food, that's our X value. They said each package will cost their country $900 for food package. Plus, each medicine package will cost $600. So there's the start of our inequality. So let's put this in slope-intercept form. I've got 600y equals negative, not equals, but less than or equal to negative 900x plus 300,000. If I divide both sides by 600, I get negative 9 over 6, which is negative 3/2 x, plus, take 2 zeros away, divide by 6, I'm going to get 5,000, right? If you want to use a calculator just to make your computation go a little quicker, that's fine. So my equation is y is less than or equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 5,000. All right, on your graph, not 5,000, that was 500. Okay, I did write 500. So on your graph, your y-intercept is 0, 500, right? I'm going to label this A because it's country A. I have a slope of negative 3/2. So if I go down 300, I would go over 200. Now, if I can spend at most, that was my less than or equal to. So I'm going to do a solid line, and then I'm not going to shade yet, but because it was a less than, I'm just going to write below here because I'm going to have to see where I end up overlapping. So here we go. All right, we're going to look at country B now. So country B says, because we're spending so much money on improving our schools right now, our funds are limited. We are constrained by spending no more than $600,000 total. So when we look at their constraint, their inequality is going to have to be less than or equal to 600,000. Let's see if I can get that to settle. Seems like every time I do this, this is what we end. There we go. Okay. So I've got 600,000. Now, they are once again going to donate both food and medicine. So let's see what they come up with for how much it costs for their food packages. So in this country, their food packages cost $500 each. So that'll be 500x. And their medicine will cost $2,000 each. And all of that has to total less than $600,000. Or up to 600,000. So if I move my 500x over, and then I divide by 200, I'm going to get y is less than or equal to 1/4, and that's a negative x, plus, cancel out my zeros, divide, and I'm going to get 300. All right, that's not bad. So on the front sheet for country B, let's just write down our final inequality. Less than or equal to negative 1/4 x plus 300. Okay? So I'm going to let you graph that. When we graph it, you're going to start at 300, right? If you're looking at your slope of negative 1/4, if I go down to 50, I will go over, let's see, 200. So let's see if I can, right here. Now, this was a less than or equal to, so this is another below, and it's going to be solid because it's r equal to. So I'm going to write below, and then I'm going to draw my line. All right, pretty good. All right, now we're on to country C. Let's see what country C has to offer. So it says our country is doing well financially. That's good to know. Citizens have voted that we must spend more than, wow, so this is going to be greater than, or $540,000, okay? So they're going to send food and medicine. The food packages are going to cost $2,000 a piece, and their medicine will cost $3,000 a piece. So let's put it in slope-intercept form. 3,000y is greater than negative 2,000x plus 540,000. I'm going to divide by 3,000. I'm going to get negative 2/3 x. 3 goes into 54, 18, so it's going to be 180. Okay, so country C, y is greater than negative 2/3 x plus 180. All right, so let's go on to our math. When you go to graph that, this is a scale of 10, so if that's 200, this will be 180. Okay, I'm going to go down. If I go down 2, I'd go over 3. So let's say I go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go over 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's a greater than, I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Just because this is kind of a small. If it's greater than, I'm going to do a dash line because it's got to be more than that. And then, if it's greater than, I would be also shading above. So here I go. So I'm going to write, this was B, this is country C, and I'm writing above. So when I go, I can make sure I've got all my pieces. So now, country D, how are they doing? They're doing well financially. That's good to know. So they've decided they must spend more than $900,000. Excellent. So their packages for food are going to cost $5,000, and their cost for medicine will be $2,000 per package. So going to be easy division here. I've got 2,000y is greater than negative 5,000 x plus 900,000. So y is more than negative, and I'm just going to leave this as an improper fraction, 5 over 2 plus half of 900 is 450. So y is greater than negative 5 halves x plus 450. So back to the first sheet here. I know, we got a lot of sheets going on. But. So here we go. Greater than negative 5 over 2x plus 450. You know what? I'm going to erase this because I will have it on the other sheet for you, and that way it won't distract visually as we are looking at this. So let's graph this onto our other paper here. So I've got a y-intercept of 450. So here we go at 450. It has a negative slope of 2/5. So if I go down, let's see, if I go down to, negative, oh, this is better, negative 5 halves. I read that. So if I go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can go over 2, right? So all I'm doing is I'm looking at the multiples, and that way it makes it easier. So I went, we're pretty good there. So if I go down, I think that should be enough to give us a good line. If it's a greater than, then once again it's going to be dashed, and then I am going to need to shade above. So I'm going to do my dash line. And this is country D, and I'm going to shade above. All right. So now let's look at country E.